The BJP-Shiv Sena alliance has executed a second Lok Sabha landslide in Maharashtra with numbers that mirror the result of 2014. What's helped deliver this result for the NDA and repeat the performance it did 5 years ago? Joining us to discuss that are Rohit Chandavarkar, resident editor of the Sakar Times, and senior journalist Niranjan Takle. Rohit, let me come to you first. 4 months ago, we didn't even know whether these two parties were contesting together. From Feb to May, they've executed a near-perfect result. What did they get so right in such a short period of time?
I think what has happened in Maharashtra is a breakdown of leadership in the Congress party and also in the NCP. Just about when the election campaign was heating up, leader of the opposition in Maharashtra, Congress leader Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil, announced that he would be quitting that position and he wanted his son to contest on NCP seat because the constituency that he belongs to happened to be an NCP seat. The NCP rejected that and Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil announced that he won't be really campaigning for the Congress party. The leadership itself saying this was a jolt for the party. Similar things happened in Vidarbha and other places where there was too much bickering among Congress leaders. Prithviraj Chauhan and Ashok Chauhan not really getting along. Ashok Chauhan trying to pitch his wife in his bastion seat of Nanded because he had chief ministerial ambitions for the Vidhan Sabha election happening 4 months from now. And on the other hand, NCP also riddled with the dynastic politics, trying to push Sharad Pawar's grandson into the fray, which didn't, I think, go along well among the voters. So more than the BJP-Shiv Sena doing well, I think what has happened in Maharashtra is that Congress and NCP have not done well, or they have done very badly, and that kind of resulted in BJP and Shiv Sena getting the advantage. The second factor, of course, is of the votes getting divided between opposition, Congress, NCP on one side, and the alliance of MIM and Prakash Ambedkar's party on the other side. MIM, remember, floated many candidates in Maharashtra. Prakash Ambedkar, in fact, contested from Solapur and Akola, and Dalit votes and Muslim votes really, I think, got split between the Congress NCP on one side and this alliance on the other side, which gave a direct advantage to the Sena BJP or the BJP-Shiv Sena alliance. Okay. So some of these factors are really not working out for the opposition in Maharashtra, mainly strategic issues and the alliance is not happening in time. All those things have worked on the ground, and the BJP-Shiv Sena smartly also, I think, pitched the fresh nationalistic or nationalism campaign, and the Pulwama and the Balakot issues were kind of brought into focus. Right. So the Congress NCP really didn't know how to react to all this, and I think as a result what we see today is about 41 seats in Maharashtra out of the 48 are now seen going to the Saffron Alliance, which is almost as much as they got in
2014. I want interestingly you point out the splitting of votes. Let's note the point that the trailing tally for Sushil Kumar Shinde is less than the number of votes that Mr. Ambedkar has gotten. So, to case in point in Solapur, that exact point is playing out that Rohit made. Mr. Takle, for decades, Paschim Maharashtra and Marathwada was the Congress fortress. Part of that extended to the NCP when that broke away. For a number of high-profile seats, 2 elections in a row, that combine has lost, in spite of agrarian trouble in the state. Does this spell the end of the road for a number of leaders from the Congress and the NCP, which have had their own, so to speak, fiefs in certain pockets of the state here?
See, one of the problems that the Congress has faced...
Actually, I don't really think that question was to Niranjan, Rohit.
Thank you.
See, actually, I don't think so. As Rohit just now summed up, I think the main reason for this defeat for Congress and NCP in Maharashtra has been because of the division of votes between Congress NCP and the front of Prakash Ambedkar and MIM. I mean, I have a data of 15 constituencies right now with me. where 7 constituencies of Congress and 8 constituencies of NCP were lost only because the front of Prakash Ambedkar's front snatched away more number of votes than the vote margin by which the candidates have got defeated. I mean, like for example, as you mentioned, Solapur or Mhada or Beed, Osmanabad in Marathwada, Ashok Chavan's constituency, Nanded itself. I mean, those constituencies, Ashok Chavan lost by a margin of 42,000, whereas the VBA candidate, scored more than 1,40,000 votes in that constituency. I mean, that has been the main reason of defeat. And Congress and NCP will have to find and innovate ways to either rope in Prakash Ambedkar's front or create a solution for this problem.
Rohit, I'm going to take that point forward, right? Because you saw a very peculiar strategy informally played out by the Congress and the NCP. They didn't anticipate the element and the extent of the force that the VBA could have been. Instead, first informally and then very obviously, they tried to push through Raj Thakre's speeches in different parts of the state, pretty much asking for a proxy attack on the BJP and not doing so themselves, hoping that would cut the BJP's votes. But instead, is there a chance that by asking somebody else to criticize the BJP, it showed how hollow it was in not being able to take the message to voters?
I think you have hit the nail on its head. In political campaign, you can't really outsource your campaigns. You can't outsource your rallies. That's what I think has happened in Maharashtra. We all were impressed with the way Raj Thakre was looking aggressive and saying the right things and pointing out what went wrong in the during the demonetization and other policy issues. But somehow it didn't go down well with the voters because they thought Raj Thakre is not even contesting and what is the purpose of his saying all these things. The other factor which has played out is that, for the last couple of decades, I would say, the Congress has not really worked on developing young leadership in the state which can be exhibited as, fresh faces who can take over from the elder leaders that we see. Someone like Sushil Kumar Shinde, who's in his 70s, somebody like Prithviraj Chavan, who's just about 70, or Ashok Chavan, who has been there for couple of decades in power as a minister in Maharashtra. All these faces have now become very old for the voters, and somebody can, some face like Devendra Fadnavis, which is very attractive for the younger voters, supposedly a clean face, has to be countered with that kind of a face in the state, or a couple of faces, or maybe 3 or 4 faces, like we have in the north states like Rajasthan or other places. The Congress has not really worked on this strategy, and another thing that is going wrong is that most of these leaders have been pushing their own children, their sons or their daughters, in the fray.
Yes, case in point, another impact of the fact that Sushil Kumar Shinde chose to come back and contested this seat was the disappointment that Vijay Singh Mohiting Patil's family had, and that switchover that Ranjit Singh did to the BJP. I wanted to move over to what's happening in Vidarbha. The BJP in Maharashtra right now, even the state government, is primarily a party of its tallest leaders, Mr. Gadkari at the center, you have Mr. Mungantiwar, Mr. Fadnavis, and a couple of them, all of them hailing from that region. Does that create a part of the state for the BJP right now that is something that, like the Congress was at a time in Marathwada, a lockdown for a couple of elections to come? Or do you see some movement in that come October in the state elections, Niranjan?
See, very frankly speaking, honestly speaking, for me these results are completely unbelievable, because I had travelled extensively in Vidarbha, in Marathwada and in Western Maharashtra, and the feeling that I used to see on the ground, the people, the 50% population, the farmer community was entirely, completely against the BJP government. And so I just cannot comprehend that how come BJP has polled so many votes. I mean, there was so much anger among the farmers because of number of agrarian issues. There was this unemployment crisis, the entire scam that is happening about this Samruddhi national highway which they are trying to build, and the entire land acquisition that is happening, and all the scams related to the land acquisition. The farmers and all these people were so much angry. We knew for a fact that the entire trader community was almost against the BJP because of the bad implementation of GST. The real estate sector and so many other unorganized sectors have suffered, I mean, heavily because of demonetization. But I mean, we actually, frankly speaking, I never thought that BJP and Shiv Sena will win so many seats. Now, of course, the parties, Congress party and the NCP will have to, I mean, find out the reasons why they couldn't bring voters to the polling booths, why they couldn't get the voting done in their favor. And what really went wrong for them.
Rohit, some of the issues that Mr. Takle mentioned right now are issues that resonate quite even more in the city you're sitting in, where Niranjan sitting right now, where there was some visible disenchantment within the old BJP voter of the intermediary in the agricultural chain, in the manufacturing chain, but across urban seats, semi-urban seats, you're seeing the Yuti do well. What explains what's happened in Mumbai, Greater Mumbai, Pune, Nashik? A clean sweep.
I think what's happened is basically there is lack of good opposition or good option. That's what has pushed people towards BJP and Shiv Sena. My view is that there have been many issues that people have been talking about. But, they think that maybe a few things went wrong because of wrong policy decisions. One of the big issues is that the farmers are not getting the right prices for their crop. And that in the rural areas, you will see getting, a lot of, it's resonating quite a lot across the state. But the problem is that if the farmers or even the traders in cities decide to go for an option for the BJP or Shiv Sena, they don't simply have any option, because they feel that the NCP faces that are coming to the fore as an option are themselves involved in so many scams. And the Congress faces from the sugar belt of Maharashtra, the southern Maharashtra, Sangli, Solapur, Kolhapur districts, they themselves have gotten into so many scams related to local district banks, or even the sugar factories, sugar cooperatives. So the sugar sector not really doing well. The rural credit society is riddled with all sorts of corruption allegations and other problems. They really thought, maybe the farmers thought that maybe this is one more chance that they need to give to the Saffron Alliance, because Devendra Fadnavis comes across as a clean face and cannot be really countered by the opposition.
I wanted to pick up that. Sorry, your line's a bit shaky, Rohit, which is why my apologies for cutting you off, because your audio was getting cut a bit. I wanted to pick up the point you were closing with right now, and take that to Mr. Takle. 4 months from now, when the assembly election comes around, the fact that both of you have listed a number of issues that people in the state have faced. And let me just step back a bit. The fact that over this 5-year cycle from Lok Sabha election to Lok Sabha election, in the states the BJP was or has been in power, whether that was Gujarat, the 3 states across central India, you've seen voters make that distinction that either the BJP has just scraped through in a state like Gujarat, or narrowly lost in 2 of those states in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Do you see some of that disenchantment being channeled towards the state government since it didn't today, Mr. Takle?
Yeah, sure. And I hope and I think that the opposition parties right now, the Congress and the NCP, will first have to project a leadership in the state against Devendra Fadnavis, because Devendra Fadnavis is the only face which sells across the entire state. NCP and Congress will have to project one such face which goes across all the castes, all the religions, all across all the constituencies, and they will have to find and derive a narrative to counter BJP about the state issues and the issues, the issues that we mentioned, the agrarian crisis, the prices issue, and the drought, that the extremely severe drought that the Maharashtra is facing right now. So how NCP and Congress will capitalize on that in these coming 4 months will probably decide the outcome of the elections in October.
Right. Rohit Chandavarkar, Niranjan Takle, thank you very much for joining us. We hope to connect with you in the coming months as we get closer to the assembly elections in Maharashtra. For right now, thank you for watching.